Hello, I am Cody Iwerts, and we are the Solar Enzyme Cooler Group, and we'll be giving our presentation for the kind of what we did this past semester. So if any of you guys want to join our group, you can watch this and learn a little bit about it.
Okay, so we're working with this guy in Nigeria named Dr. Anna, and he's researching biofuels using enzymes, but he doesn't have a way to store them because they don't have access to a reliable electrical grid. So we were trying to figure out a way for him to store these enzymes because right now he has to order them pretty frequently, and that's costing him a lot of money. So once we figure out how to store them, he'd be saving a lot of money on the enzymes. Okay, so just to clarify what Dr. Anna's needs are, so he needs these enzymes to be cooled to a range of 2 to 10 degrees Celsius. Otherwise, they become too inactive and he can't use them in his research. He also needs it to be off-grid. He needs our power source to be off-grid because they don't have access to the electrical grid that we have in the United States. And then once we get these figured out, it'll be more cost-efficient. So the desired conditions, there's some things that we came up with that we wanted to achieve for the cooler. So we decided that we wanted it to be solar powered and portable, and then we figured that the battery that will be charged by the solar panel should last on an average of 5 to 7 days, and then the carrying size should be about 20 to 40 vials worth of enzymes, and we wanted it to not take up too much space within his research lab, so we limited it to 15 by 7 inches.
Our current stakeholders, our primary is Dr. Anna. He is working with the University of Agriculture of Makurdi in Benin, Nigeria. The secondary stakeholder would be his students, anyone who uses the research that he does, along with any other key stakeholders that will fall in that place with his colleagues.
Alright, so the mission of our stakeholder, Dr. Anna, is that he wants to do agricultural breakdown using these enzymes. And some clients of the community partner, as stated a little bit before, is university researchers, essentially his students and any other colleagues he has. Some of the cultural issues that we have, enzymes not available in Nigeria as they are, let's say, in the United States. So the effect is that we need to better preserve these enzymes instead of buying new ones. So for our stakeholder requirements, we have some needs, which are to design a cooler to protect enzymes from excessive amounts of heat, as well as to help prevent Dr. Anna from overspending on these enzymes. Current approach that he is using is he's buying more biofuel enzymes as they are needed. So our main goal, ultimately his main goal, is to produce biofuels from non-food materials. So some time constraints that we have is we want a complete working prototype by the end of May 2018. This may change, but for right now that's what we want. After the prototype, we will complete the final product and obviously learn from that prototype that we made. Difficulties that we're having right now is the huge time difference between Arizona and Nigeria is obviously affecting our communication, and also the main difficulty is the lack of consistent source of energy in Nigeria.
So this semester, there's a lot of new members to the group, including myself, so I made our group much bigger. Realized we can use that to our advantage to break up a lot of research that had to be done. A lot of that will be talked on later into this his presentation. We try to reach out to Dr. Anna as much as we can because we know it's hard for him to get back to us due to that time difference. A lot of that doesn't work out too well, unfortunately, so it set us back. We had big plans to do trade studies and to go through testing, but that didn't get done either. But the best part about what happened was we learned exactly what we needed and how to get around it. So one of the major obstacles that we were able to get to was to get a budget and to obtain materials to do testing that will most likely happen next semester. Since we're able to get so much research done this semester, we'll be moving out of the specification development into conceptual design. Once we hear back from Dr. Anna a little more, we'll be able to move forward with that into a detailed design. But right now we'll be moving into conceptual design, and hopefully after that, get that final product out.
So after our last time trying to get in touch with Dr. Anna, the Skype call didn't work out, so we ended up sending him an email. And so his response was that he did want us to build the cooler because we weren't quite sure exactly what he expected from us. There already are some coolers out on the market that could potentially solve his issue. But overall, he wanted us to build something for him, and so possibly make a video that would chronicle the process that we went through to build this thing so that his students could potentially learn from it and apply some of the stuff that we learned into their lives. And so he also pointed out that the average cost of a refrigeration unit in Nigeria is around $2,000. So that kind of gave us an idea of the budget that we were working with. And he did want us to come up with a budget of what we thought it would cost to build the thing so that we could send that over to him and he would have an idea of what the price was going to be.
Alright, so some of the cooler needs that we have is the temperature needs to be between 2 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius. Dr. Anna said it doesn't have to be necessarily portable, same as he didn't really specify as how big it has to be, so we don't really have a need on the capacity. So what we kind of set for ourselves is the temperature needs to be between 2 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius. We would like it to be at least semi-mobile. This is because we have to send it overseas to Nigeria from America. And the capacity should be approximately between 20 to 40 vials, which are just generic vials.
Okay, for the solar panel group, our current choice for solar panels is the Renogy 200 watt 12 volt polycrystalline package. The reason why we chose this is because it includes a controller and the adapters. It's good for low light environments and it has some good size requirements. The only holdback potentially could be the weight limit.
So this is basically how we're going to set up our solar panel system once we get it going. We're going to have our solar panel connected to our controller, and from there we're going to connect the controller to the battery, and then after the battery it's going to be connected to an inverter so we can plug in our powered freezer into it, and also there's going to be a series of fuses so nothing blows out, and the controller is basically going to control the power going into the battery so it doesn't get overcharged and it'll last longer throughout the process.
For the battery component of the project, we decided after a lot of research that deep cycle batteries would be the best type of batteries to use for the project. So deep cycle batteries are basically a key component of a standalone renewable energy system, and they also store what went unused of that instantaneous power so that we could have it for later. And we also decided that a 12-volt battery would be the best option to use. So here we have our first option, the Group 24 AGM solar battery. So just a little bit about it. It weighs 52 pounds and has an ampere hour capacity of 75. And our second option is the Trojan 24 AGM, and this is also a 12-volt battery. And it actually has an amp hour rating that varies, so it can vary anywhere from 5 to 100 amp hours. So this gives us a little more wiggle room on like how long we can actually stay like without using the solar panels, I guess, whenever the sun is not out. And these are just kind of some graphs to show that the 24 AGM Trojan battery would actually like be able to operate within the conditions of Nigeria. So here we have a battery decision matrix with 2 batteries, and after determining the weights of each criteria that we have, we decided to go with the Trojan 24 AGM battery.
So this is the flowchart of what we expect the design to look like. At the top we have photovoltaic cells source. Those are the solar panels. There's a charge controller to control the amount of charge and amount of current flowing to the battery system. Out of the battery we have the inverter and the load and the load, which is the cooler. So for this design we opted to go with a true sine inverter to use as the inverter. So the next steps in batteries, the first one is more load analysis. This is determining the power consumption of the cooler. The other step is surge protector, and the final step in batteries is inverter sizing.
The next steps for our milestones will be to catch everyone up on all the individual research that's been going on, understanding all the solar panels and batteries installation all the way around. After that is implementation, We need to understand how all the components work together as we find new ones that we have to incorporate into the project. After that, testing, so we can verify a general design that'll be capable to work over in Nigeria. And after that, we just need to cut back, reduce our materials and costs so it can be more efficient to make.
And this concludes our presentation for the solar enzyme cooler group.